power is decided before the world even wakes up. Long before emails arrive, before messages start buzzing, before noise fills the air, there is a silent battle that determines the direction of your entire day, and most people lose it within minutes of opening their eyes. Why do some people win the day before 8 a.m. while others lose it before they even get out of bed? The difference is not talent. It is not luck. It is not leaven motivation. The difference is what happens in the first hour after waking up. Discipline is not built at night when you feel inspired. It is built in the first fragile moments of the morning when your mind is still soft, still impressionable, still deciding who is in control. In those early minutes, your brain moves through slower brainwave states. It is more open to suggestion, more sensitive to habits. Neuroscientists explain that cortisol, the hormone that sharpens alertness, rises naturally in the morning. This is called the cortisol awakening response. It prepares you to act, but if the first action you take is hesitation, distraction, or comfort, you teach your brain a dangerous lesson. You teach it that delay is acceptable. You teach it that comfort comes first. You teach it that mood decides action. And once that pattern is set, it repeats itself all day. That is why the morning is not just a time of day. It is a psychological gateway. History quietly supports this truth. Many disciplined leaders, athletes, and creators structured their mornings with almost obsessive consistency, not because it looked impressive, but because it gave them control. Control over attention, control over emotion, control over direction. They understood one simple law: the first decision shapes the next. The first action builds identity. If you snooze, you practice avoidance. If you scroll, you practice distraction. If you rush in chaos, you practice reaction. But if you act with intention, even in small ways, you practice authority over yourself. And authority over yourself is the root of discipline. These 10 morning habits will train your brain to obey you. Not your mood, not your laziness, not your distractions. They are simple, almost too simple. That is why most people ignore them. Yet research in behavioral psychology shows that small repeated actions rewire neural pathways. Tiny consistent behaviors strengthen circuits related to self-control in the prefrontal cortex. In simple words, what you repeat becomes who you are. In this video, you will learn why hitting the snooze button weakens mental strength, why checking your phone first thing reduces focus for hours, why short moments of discomfort increase long-term resilience, and why clarity in the morning eliminates procrastination later. You will also discover lesser-known truths about how momentum works, how identity is formed through micro-actions, and why discipline is less about intensity and more about sequence. The order of your morning matters more than the length of it. And here is the promise. If you apply even 3 of these habits consistently, your self-control will change. Not overnight, but steadily. You will notice fewer excuses, faster action, calmer reactions, stronger focus, because discipline is not a personality trait. It is a trained response. Most people wait to feel ready. Disciplined people move before they feel ready. Most people negotiate with their alarms. Disciplined people decide once and act. Most people let the world enter their mind first. Disciplined people protect their mind first, and that small shift changes everything. By the end of this video, you will not only know what to do in the morning, you will understand why it works. You will see how each habit connects to brain science, behavior patterns, and long-term success. You will see how mornings silently predict outcomes. And you will have a clear structure you can start tomorrow. Not next week. Not next month. Tomorrow. Stay until the end, because the final habit is the one that ties everything together. It is the difference between short bursts of motivation and lasting mental discipline. It is what separates people who try from people who transform. The morning is coming, whether you prepare for it or not. The only question is, who will control it? Welcome to our channel, where we break down powerful ideas into simple actions you can apply immediately. If you are serious about building mental strength, discipline and control over your life, subscribe now and become part of a community that chooses growth over comfort. Let's begin. The morning is not just a time on the clock. It is a mental reset point. When you wake up, your brain is coming out of a state of deep rest. It is quiet. It is flexible. It is highly impressionable. In those first moments, your thoughts are slower. Your identity is softer. Your habits step in before logic does. This is why the morning controls the mind. What you do first does not just start your day. It programs it. Neuroscience shows that early actions influence dopamine release, stress response, and attention control. That means your first behavior sends a signal. It tells your brain what kind of person you are today. Are you decisive or hesitant? Focused or distracted? Calm or reactive? The first actions set identity. Identity then drives behavior. If you win the first small battle, momentum builds naturally. If you lose it, excuses begin quietly. You will not even notice it. One delay becomes two. One distraction becomes many. Discipline is not something you feel. It is something you train. It grows from repeated behavior, not from motivation, not from mood, from action. Let's start with the first habit. Habit 1 is simple but powerful. Wake up without snoozing. What it is clear. The alarm rings. You get up. No delay, no second chance. Why it builds discipline is even clearer. The snooze button trains hesitation. It teaches your brain that instructions are optional. It whispers that later is fine, but later becomes a pattern. Every time you snooze, you practice delay, and delay slowly becomes identity. Discipline requires instant action. The psychology is strong here. The first decision of the day carries more weight than any other small decision. When you move immediately, you prove to yourself that you can act without negotiation. Most people do it wrong, by bargaining with the alarm. 5 more minutes turns into 20. The body stays heavy. The mind starts weak. The simple instruction is this. When the alarm rings, count down from 3 and sit up. Do not think. Do not negotiate. Move. That is the first win. Habit 2 is about making your bed immediately. What it is sounds small. You straighten the sheets. You align the pillow. You leave no mess behind. Why it builds discipline is deeper than it looks. It is a completed task within minutes of waking that creates a sense of order. It builds control. The brain loves closure. When you finish something, even small, dopamine releases. That reward reinforces action. Most people skip this because it feels useless. They think it does not matter. But discipline grows through tiny wins. When you complete small tasks consistently, you prove reliability to yourself. The simple instruction is clear. Before leaving your room, make your bed fully. No shortcuts. Clean space. Clean start. Habit 3 protects your attention. No phone for the first 30 minutes. What it is means zero scrolling, no messages, no social media, no news. Why it builds discipline is powerful. Attention is your most valuable resource. When you wake up and immediately consume content, you put your brain in reactive mode. You respond instead of lead. Social media floods dopamine quickly. That weakens focus for harder tasks later. Your brain starts craving easy stimulation. Most people reach for the phone before even standing up. That trains dependency. It weakens self-control. If you start the day consuming, you stay controlled all day. The simple instruction is this. Keep your phone away from your bed. Do not touch it for 30 minutes. Protect your mind before the world enters it. Habit 4 is cold water exposure. What it is can be a cold shower or even splashing cold water on your face. Why it builds discipline is simple. It trains discomfort tolerance. The body resists cold naturally. The mind wants warmth and ease. When you choose cold on purpose, you practice mind over body. You prove that comfort is not in control. This strengthens emotional regulation. It lowers fear response over time. Most people avoid discomfort early in the day. They seek warmth and softness. That trains avoidance. Discipline grows when comfort shrinks. The simple instruction is short. End your shower with 30 seconds of cold water. Breathe slowly. Stay calm. Step out stronger. Habit 5 is 5 to 10 minutes of silence. This can be meditation or deep breathing. What it is means sitting still without stimulation. Why it builds discipline is connected to awareness. When you observe your thoughts, you stop being controlled by them. You slow reaction, you increase focus. Studies show that even short daily meditation strengthens areas of the brain linked to attention and emotional control. Most people wake up and immediately rush. Noise fills their mind. That creates scattered thinking. A calm mind obeys faster. The simple instruction is this: sit upright. Close your eyes. Focus on your breathing. When thoughts come, notice them and return to the breath. No judgment, just control. Habit 6 is physical movement, push-ups, a short walk, stretching. What it is does not need to be intense. It just needs to be active. Why it builds discipline is tied to energy. Movement increases blood flow to the brain. It raises alertness. It reduces stress hormones. When the body moves, the mind wakes fully. Momentum builds. Energy creates clarity. Most people stay still too long in the morning. They scroll, they sit, they delay. That keeps the body sluggish. Body discipline supports mental discipline. The simple instruction is clear. Move for at least 5 minutes after waking. No excuses. Even small effort counts. Habit 7 is writing one clear goal for the day. What it is means choosing a single priority. Not 10 tasks. One main target. Why it builds discipline is because direction removes confusion. When the mind is unclear, it hesitates. Confusion creates procrastination. But when a target is defined, the brain focuses. Clear target equals focused mind. Most people start their day without clarity. They react to emails. They respond to requests. They let others decide their direction. The simple instruction is this: write one sentence. Today I will complete this task. Keep it visible. Let it guide your actions. Habit 8 is doing one hard thing first. What it is means facing resistance early. That difficult email, that workout, that study session. Why it builds discipline is powerful. Resistance shrinks when confronted. Courage grows with action. When you delay hard tasks, they grow heavier in your mind. Anxiety builds. But when you attack them first, confidence rises. Hard first makes the rest feel easier. Discipline is built by doing what you avoid. Most people warm up with easy tasks. That feels productive, but avoids growth. The simple instruction is direct. Identify the hardest meaningful task. Start it within the first hour. Habit 9 focuses on inner dialogue. What it is means monitoring your thoughts. No negative self-talk allowed. Replace "I am tired" with "I move anyway." Replace "I cannot" with "I will try." Why it builds discipline is tied to identity. Thoughts shape belief. Belief shapes action. When you repeat weak language, you build weak identity. When you speak strength, you reinforce resilience. Most people let thoughts run freely. They accept every complaint as truth. That trains mental weakness. The simple instruction is this: Catch one negative thought each morning and replace it with a strong command. Practice daily. Habit 10 is consistency even on bad days. What it is means keeping the routine when motivation drops. Why it builds discipline is simple. Consistency beats intensity. Discipline is repetition. The brain learns through patterns, not through random effort. Mood does not matter. Action matters. Most people perform only when inspired. That creates instability. True control comes from steady practice. The simple instruction is this: do the routine at a basic level, even when tired. Lower intensity if needed, but never skip. As these habits stack, identity shifts quietly. You move from reactive to intentional. You stop waiting and start deciding. You shift from lazy to structured. You follow systems instead of feelings. You transform from emotional to controlled. This is not dramatic. It is gradual, but it is powerful because you do not rise to your goals. You fall to your systems, and your morning system decides how high you stand. Morning discipline creates life discipline. It is that simple. The way you begin your day quietly shapes how you handle pressure, decisions, opportunities, and setbacks. If you control your morning, you control your direction. Not because mornings are magical, but because they prove something important. They prove that you can act without waiting for motivation. They prove that you can move before your emotions agree. They prove that you are in charge. Most people want motivation. They want to feel ready. They want to feel inspired. But motivation is unstable. It rises and falls. Systems do not. Systems carry you on days when you feel tired. Systems guide you when your mood is low. Few people build systems. That is why few people stay consistent. And consistency is where real discipline lives. The truth is this: your future is not decided in big dramatic moments. It is decided in quiet mornings, in small actions, in simple choices repeated daily. When you wake up and move without hesitation, you are building more than a habit. You are building identity. You are building self-trust. And once you trust yourself, everything changes. So tomorrow morning is not ordinary. It is an opportunity, a chance to prove control, a chance to reset your standards, a chance to become the person you keep talking about. Win the morning. Win your mind. Win your life. If this video gave you clarity, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe to the channel for more practical systems that build real discipline, like this video, so more people can see it. Share it with someone who needs stronger mornings. And remember, change does not start next week. It starts when your alarm rings.